First of all, I think we accomplished our objective of setting up an environment that was in support of our team. And I think Governor Perry's message was hardworking folks, Midwestern, he's highly in supportive of that. And I think our team members wanted to be able to hear that. They're good people, and the kind of things that we do require a lot of hard work, and that's our business. There's nothing sexy about it. The most important thing about our business today is that our customers feel confident that they can invest in their facilities and businesses and go forward. If they feel confident in their businesses, then they want to take care of their facilities. Obviously, we're in the facility management or maintenance business, and then that means if they want to take care of their facilities, then there's opportunities for people at the D.C. Taylor Company. I think Governor Perry, in his analysis of let's get jobs, but he's also talking about getting regulations minimized and get people off their back and leave businesses to their own to develop new products and services and try to find ways to grow their business. We've hired over 200 people over the past 3.5 years. Some of them are at our higher turnover levels, but then we're hiring permanent staff, salespeople, project managers, project supervisors, and there's been a steady cadence there in what we need and the roles that we're trying to find people to fill and go forward with. Our total incident rate, which TIR, that's a big number in the construction business. We're half the national average, so that's the good news. We have another statistic. It's called EMR, experience modification rate, and that's a third below the national average. Those are good things. Companies that want a safe bet and minimize their risks look to the D.C. Taylor Company to bring their roofing services to bear. When I was introducing Governor Perry, part of the things that we've done is we've gotten into installing permanent fall protection. Permanent fall protection is a series of pieces of equipment and practices that we would install on the perimeter edge of buildings. A lot of larger companies are trying to minimize all their risks and mitigate all those risks, and one of them is installing permanent fall protection on the perimeter of their facilities. Companies are looking at us to install permanent fall protection while we're there installing a new roof. So that's the cheapest, most cost-efficient way that they can get new products on the roof. When they put a new roof on, well, our team, our roofers are already there. Then we can install the permanent fall protection right there. It's not a separate setup or additional cost coming back to the facility. We're right there, and we can install it as efficiently as possible. The bottom line is that sustainability practices, protecting the environment, are here to stay, and big companies are putting out there that they need to reduce their environmental footprint, and we're doing the best that we can to do that through roofing. So whether we're saving energy through adding insulation or saving energy by adding daylighting so people can turn the lights off, we also are getting involved in renewable energy sources, which is solar panels installed on top of roofs. And then last but not least then is sustainable business practices in zero landfill projects. Using more durable materials, being able to take an existing roof and add life to it. Those are some strategies that we're implementing in protecting our environment, and ultimately leads to lower life cycle costs for our customers. A project that we did for a very large customer, we recycled over 596 tons of roofing waste, and I think we achieved a zero landfill status on that. We have a variety of resources around the country that are able to take different parts and pieces of the roofing waste stream, and we separate it so that all they do is they come and they latch onto it, and then they find another use for those particular products, whether it be roofing insulation, even roofing gravel, or membrane or asphalt. Some of those products are getting more and more. There's a secondary markets that are starting to develop now, and so as the distribution starts to become better, where people are hauling different parts and pieces of the roofing project, then most of the time that material doesn't have to go to the landfill. It can go and be used in other areas. So I think that's an awesome practice for us. We want to be in support of our large customers who, though they have a mandate to reduce their footprint, their carbon footprint, their environmental footprint, and we're, roofing is right smack dab in the middle of that. I think we accomplished my number one objective, which was to have a team building event. And having a national figure pick the DC Taylor Company to send his message, we didn't pick them, they picked us. And I think you could see the outpouring of pride in how we got our shops and offices prepared, how we prepared for this, working with our outside vendors and team members, really had a positive impact. Hey, we're working, DC Taylor Company in our business, it's not a bed of roses. We're working hard just like the next company down the street. And, we're working really, really hard to find ways to engage our customers. And, and it takes people. We don't have a magic product or a magic bullet. Everything that we do is all based around people and using their heads and communicating with customers and finding ways to manage and mitigate risks. I think that's a pretty complete package for most customers anyway.